Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a Valheim update video. There is a small patch today, but it's got big changes if you're taking on bosses. I'm going to go over all of that stuff, plus 4 million players in 3 weeks. Huge achievement. The success of Valheim continues to grow. It is now approaching one of the biggest and best launch games ever. All that, I'm going to take a quick look at the inspiration behind Valheim and some of the stuff that may have gone into the design and what has really influenced the game. So all of that, go and check out the rest of my Valheim guides, tutorials, and of course always keep me locked down for the best updates in survival, and let's go. So Valheim has sold 4 million copies in 3 weeks. That's a huge amount. At the weekend in the Steam charts, Valheim had actually hit 502,000 players. Although interestingly, when you look it up on the Steam players graphs, it says it was 498 something. There have been more people playing Valheim than have Apex Legends, a free-to-play game. That is nuts. More people have played Valheim than at peak than Grand Theft Auto. As you can see, there's not many games here. It's even beat Terraria, which pretty much had the 5th spot for the all-time amount of people playing a game at once. And I think that's so fitting because to me Valheim is just more and more just like Terraria, albeit in different 2D format. It's a huge achievement. Valheim is literally just skyrocketing. Now it does look like things are starting to finally slow down. In the UK, kids have gone back to school from half term, and I'm sure that's pretty much the same across lots of areas of Europe. Even with lockdown, everyone has got maybe things they've got to get on with a little bit more. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we do manage to hit that peak again and break 502,000 players. Richard Svensson, the CEO of the company, said, "I don't really think I've had time to contemplate it. I know that players like the game a lot, but at the same time I think I can make something even better in the future. I'm looking forward to adding more content to the game, especially working on the remaining biomes. That's the Ashlands and the Mistlands. Our current roadmap only reaches the next biome and we hope to have it done by the end of the year. But it might very well take longer depending on how smooth the development will be. I really don't want to stress the development, that never ends well." They've also stated that they are increasing how many people work for them. But again, they probably don't want to go too mad. So hopefully this does mean this is maybe a step they can really achieve. As I know some of you guys are really happy with progression, really happy with the content, but already I'm starting to see a little bit of murmurings of people that do or would like a little bit more in the game. I don't think it's anyone's fault. The pandemic has made everyone a little bit more hungry for content. We're going through games much quicker. And with, over the last few years, so many live service games kind of drilling us or making us automated thinking that content is always coming. I think there is a little bit of an expectation, rightly or wrongly nowadays. But it sounds good, and I'm really pleased to see that this will literally just take them up to that year. And after that, who knows what they might be adding. Also, a little snippet about bone mass from one of the creators as well. Lots of you guys have been saying it's super hard. I did my first bone mass legit with the boys the other day, and it was incredibly tough. Henrik Tornquist, the co-founder of Irongate, said, "Bring poison resistance potions is my best tip. And of course, we're going to listen to community feedback, and you never know what we'll do in the future for balancing." Well, damn it, they went and actually made it harder. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. I do think Elkir needs a bit of a boost. Moda and bone mass seem fine to me, but hey, if they want to make it a bit more challenging, let me know in the comments your methods for defeating the bosses. So this patch has literally just gone live. So you've been playing a heavy session of Valheim, you may need to restart your Steam as of literally 8:55 this morning. Hello Valheimers, today's patch has some major changes. The biggest change is the updated socket backend, which should improve connection issues for a lot of players. Vulkan support has been enabled in Windows builds and can be enabled for now by adding False Vulkan as a launch option. This might fix some random crashes related to GPU drivers. People having world corruption caused by logging out and at the same time by using the Alt and F4, that has now been fixed. And there's been some balancing fixes made on bosses to make them more challenging. Apparently we are killing them too fast. Due to changes in character saves data, once a character has been loaded and saved in this new version, they can no longer be loaded in an older version of Valheim. So effectively, if someone hasn't updated, or maybe you're renting a server and you haven't updated the server, you may not be able to log in with your character. So if you're having any problems, just check that your friend's world that you're trying to join or the server that you're trying to join has updated. Likewise, maybe you've made some saves of the game elsewhere and they're not in exactly the same file and you keep them there as backups. If you're having problems connecting to that, that looks like what that is. Bunch of other stuff as well, and this is all pretty small stuff, but I'm going to carry on doing these. I think it's important to tell you guys. Crafting item dupe bug fix. I know a lot of people were doing this kind of thing, even though you can just put cheats on, so I don't know why you would bother. But hey, it's been fixed now. I guess maybe for actual online servers. Harpooned player and ship bug fix. Fixed player ragdoll. Bomas, Moda, Yaglov have all had their difficulty put up. I'm surprised Elk here hasn't had it up as well. Maybe because it's the starting boss. But with a little bit of moving around and making sure you got full food, you can pretty much take him on with nothing more than just a spear. They've updated the music for the Moda boss fight. Tombstone bug fix. Players have been complaining, especially on my server anyway, of tombstones disappearing. It wasn't anything to do with the servers. It looks like it was just a bug in the game. Suck on that, the dude that got salty and left the server. Fixed world corruption caused by pressing Alt and F4. Deaf squeetos have slightly longer audio range, so hopefully you'll hear them coming a little bit quicker. They've tweaked the audio on blast furnace and spinning wheel, and shared map position setting is save per world. They've updated network stats when you press F2, building destruction drop fix, and the Vulkan support in the Windows builds. They've also got a network disconnection bug fix and updated socket backend, blah 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 technical stuff. Great stuff, good to see, interesting to see how the boss fights will go now. I had my first attempt at Yaglov last night, well with cheats, because I've not actually seen the fight itself. Just wanted to see what kind of arrows will do damage to him and what kind of combat techniques you could use. And yeah, he's pretty tough, but I think I've found a viable way that you can probably do legit. So Richard Svensson is the original curator of Valheim, and since then I've obviously got other people involved. The game's been worked on for 3 years, and you can see quite a bit of inspiration from maybe some of the stuff if you take a look at his Pinterest. Now I love all this kind of stuff. I'm hopeful that I might even be able to get an interview with one of the developers in the future. But it's really cool going through some of this stuff. Obviously lots of stuff is Viking influenced, but you get a real sense of stuff that's happening. Yog Soloth, a different kind of Lovecraftian boss. Imagine if that's going to be in the game. Obviously not direct copies, guys. This is all just inspiring, I'm sure. But this is his actual Valheim page, so you can see lots of intrigue. You can see lots of stuff going on with the ships, sea monsters, huge dudes, massive axes. Could that be inspiration for a boss in the future? Or what about one of these guys coming out of the Mistlands? Definitely feels like there's a little bit of inspiration there for Yagaluf. And although this is just art he likes, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could be really cool maybe to have a rideable boar. Maybe there's the alpha version of a boar that you could breed, and then eventually you can actually use it as a mini mount. So really cool stuff. I'm going to leave the link for his Pinterest. I hope he doesn't mind now. He's going to maybe get loads more followers. Go and check it out if you want to see some more of the art that has inspired Valheim. Obviously the artist that is actually doing the work on Valheim is great. I don't know whether that's just Richard Svensson. I think there's someone else as well. But either way, Valheim's fantastic. And it's just nice to see what kind of things might influence it. So there we go, guys. As ever, the minute an update drops, the minute we get any news about future content, I'll be there first to tell you guys what's happening in Valheim. Pretty much making this like 70% of my content at the moment. Trying to get content out every day of the week, with the weekends sometimes maybe having a little bit more different content. Until Rust comes out at least. A weird mix, I know, but of course anytime any big survival games news drops, I'll be there to tell you guys. Ark Gen 2 coming, Conan Exiles new DLC on console, and Subnautica Below Zero when that's finally coming. Anything like that, I'll always be there with a little news video. So until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.